everybody. We are back with another overwhelm video. We talk about overwhelm quite a lot because this is what small business owners deal with quite a lot. And today we want to dig into the that moment in time when there is so much to do, you actually freeze. You know, you like, oh my God, you wake up in the morning, you're already stressed, you look at your to-do list and you go like, oh, and you can't move. I don't know if you've experienced that. I have, I still do. And it's natural. So you're not weird, unless we're all weird. And that's why we're small business owners. So it's basically
it takes a little bit of weird, doesn't it, to be a small business owner?
Oh God, yeah. Why would you want to be normal, right? I like being odd. I didn't always like being odd, but now I celebrate me being a bit different. So that's just the way it is. Anyway, so it's that kind of point when you like go, oh, I can't, and then it's all too much. So you pick up your phone and you do a bit of scrolling, and you might do your Wordle, and you do all of the other things first. You unload the dishwasher, you do the washing, and try to forget about it, because your brain is basically, it's a brain function, because you're going into stress mode and it shuts off. Or maybe you hide behind busy work, like stuff that isn't actually important, just to make yourself or your brain feel better. So it's that crisis point we want to talk about, not just in general, is crisis station. So what do we have to say, Victoria?
So I think the first thing that when you're feeling like that is to acknowledge that you're feeling like that. I think that's, I used to work through it, and it doesn't serve anybody. It really doesn't. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your mental health. It's just recognizing when you're starting to, the signs that are for you. So for me, my breathing starts going faster and more shallow, and then I start to, maybe my feet tingle a little bit, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I start to feel hot, and I am starting to feel hot now, but that's because it's very hot in Tokyo. But I don't feel at all overwhelmed, Alex, recording videos with you.
God, no, I love it. It's awesome.
No, it's really fun. So the first thing to unfreeze and reset yourself. So that sounds really easy. Just unfreeze, just reset. It's easier said than done, isn't it? So the first thing would be, because your shallow breathing is just to breathe deeply, take a few, and it sounds so obvious, but when you train yourself to notice the signs and then breathe, do some things like stretch something on your body, or put your head down, put your hands on your head, all those little yoga tips that you do when you do yoga sessions. That's what I would say to do. You could go for a little walk around your neighborhood, or even just around your house. Just change the scenery, just move somewhere, or even just get down and do a few like burpees or squats or something. Get your body moving and the oxygen going around your body. I'm gonna confess something now.
Do I know that already?
Feeling a bit frozen. I don't sing that song from Frozen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna put it in your head. But what I do is I sing something. So I sometimes hop on my piano and play something and sing, or I put some karaoke on YouTube and I sing. And for me, or I might play the ukulele now and again. For me, that little creative break is all I need to go, okay, I'm okay. I've taken some breaths and I can go back and I can work out what it is I'm trying to do. I think also with that, you have to be careful, especially as neurospicy people who maybe go off to do something and forget what you were doing and just do something else for 2 hours. Yeah. That's me. I might forget that I was supposed to write this blog post, and I've gone and cleaned out the cupboards in the kitchen. That happens to me quite a lot. So have a time limit. So set yourself, I'm going to spend, when I feel like this, I'm going to spend 10 minutes doing that, like weeding your garden or walk around the block. But make sure that there's an end point, or else you're going to get yourself into more stress.
That's
That
right.
would be those are my tips.
Yeah.
Sharp reset.
Yeah, so it's the reset, kind of like get back down to a level that you then can manage what's going on. So
Stick a sharp object in it. Well, like you do, like on a remote control, you find the little thing, you go, where's the button?
Oh,
And
yeah, that's right.
That's how I
Control
imagine
Shift
it.
Delete.
Reboot.
Reboot.
Restart your
Reboot
computer.
is a good one. So you've rebooted your brain and your heart rate is down. So what is next? Next is prioritizing, because it might seem at that point in time you have 50 super important things to do, but when you actually look at them, there's probably some things are really urgent and really important, but then there is other things that are important but not as urgent. And there is a little, it's called a time management matrix. We'll give you the access to that and you see what it looks like. So it's basically you prioritize your tasks into this little matrix, and you categorize them basically by importance and urgency. So there is one bucket where you put all of your urgent and important things, one bucket you're not so urgent and but still important stuff, one bucket urgent and not important, and then there's one which is not urgent and not important, and all of these things that you put in there go in the bin. And these are when we talk about busy work, that's busy work. That is just, yeah, it's just throw it in the bin. It just stresses you out if you keep it on your to-do list, which is something we don't recommend doing, having a to-do list anyway. We use a tool called Trello, and we're not affiliates for them.
We wish we were.
We wish we were. There's a lot of tools out there, online tools, apps, and all of that can help you prioritize and plan and all of that. We just use Trello, and you just plan your week and or your to-do list, to speak that way. It's basically virtual post-it notes, isn't it? You just have a post-it note.
Yeah, it's like project management, isn't it? And
yeah,
you can
maybe
move
we
things
should
around.
do a little video or tour of Trello, because it is a very cool tool. Anyway, so basically you have now calmed down. Now you prioritize, and what is not important and not urgent, get rid of it. It's not going to make any change to your life. Just get rid of it, basically.
So you've done those things, and now it's time to actually do the stuff. So you're calm, you've got your priorities in your head, you've got your priorities on paper, even in the urgent and important quadrant of your little planner. We're calling it what are we calling it? A priority finder, so that you can uncover which is the most important, which are the most important tasks, because newsflash, there'll be more than one in there. It did happen to me last week where I did this and I found everything that I had to do was in that quadrant. So that was a little bit stressful. So I had to just work logically through the things. So now we've got to do the stuff. So we're not going to do anything that's in the throwaway. We're just not going to touch that. That is gone. It's not important. But what we are going to do is the things that we've prioritized as urgent and important. Surprise, surprise, it's not rocket science. You're going to do those first. Okay. Sometimes things that I could have done weeks or months ago end up in there for me, when actually I could have just done them ages ago, and now but now they've become urgent and really important. Taxes is one of them. Cleaning cupboards and scrolling Instagram. It's not a priority.
No.
Social media in general is not really a priority unless you're going on holiday, for example, and you're batching out all your content. That would be a different priority.
Yeah.
So something like there's a fire in your office, or you have your taxes due, or you need to pay a bill. Those are really urgent things that you need to deal with now.
Yes.
And because they're so important that if you don't do it, you might end up in jail, or you might end up getting a fine. So anything that's a financial priority or a time priority, do it first. We often talk about eating the frog, which just simply means to do the worst thing first of all.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it is taxes, but to be honest, it's getting less like that since I've become better at prioritizing. So it's doing the thing that you really don't enjoy, to do it first out of those important things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying do the worst things from the other part of the quadrants first. I'm saying look at the most urgent and important things first, and then prioritize those. Trello is your best friend in this case, because you just put them in order and you just work your way logically down, and you can delete them as you go. Why I don't like to do lists is because things are still there and they bother me. I don't like them at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alex.
Yeah, and going back
next?
to eating the frog, that is procrastination, obviously, right? It's something that's difficult or painful even. And that's just how we humans are wired. We just don't do it because we don't like pain. We don't like being put into a discomfort. And that's when accountability comes in. That is really when you then, if you have an accountability partner, or if you are part of our society and you come to our WAM sessions, that's all about accountability. That is basically you telling someone you're doing something and then you do it. And it's magic. It really is. Victoria and I have been accountability partners for a long time. And, you know, we wouldn't say things like, oh, I'm going to put a reel up. No. We're not talking about we putting a reel up on Instagram. We're talking about, I'm going to get my taxes done by next week because we're meeting weekly. And then you do it because you don't want to let your accountability partner down, and not yourself. And because you've put it out in the open, right? So accountability, especially for solopreneurs, for small business owners who don't have a team, is super important. So find yourself an accountability partner or come to our WAM sessions, and the group will be your accountability group, basically. And that is to stop you from getting that overwhelm from your tasks that were maybe a little bit important and not urgent, and suddenly ending up in the important and super urgent bucket. That is where accountability comes in.
So if you want to get your hands on one of these Priority Finder downloads, then just hop on our list, because we have a freebie for you. If you are already in the Ginkgo and Fern Society, which is our free Facebook community, which we give away free when you sign up to one of our courses, or if you're on our mailing list already, just keep an eye out because it will be landing soon. All right, I'll see you all soon.
Lovely to speak to you. Bye.